Okay, so the map is Fertile Crescent. The round is the 1 of 8. The best of is 7. And we have Kaiser playing Germany in the color red in the southeast, and Hazza playing India in the color blue in the northwest. And you tell me, what do resources look? I think they look pretty fair here.
Yeah, I think they look fair. It's kind of standard Fertile Crescent, right? Where there's not many resources for both, but this time both of them sort of have it equally sparse, which probably will help Hazza a little bit going into this matchup. But yeah, a lot fairer than the previous one anyway.
Yeah, I agree. And let's see, was it a 200 wood start? It looks so, just like last game. So Kaiser's going to go for that early trading post, and it's going to help Hazza up with his H time a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, just as I was saying before, Kaiser's leading off with his main civilization. He's picking Germany, so that's definitely his strongest. And Hazard's India is pretty strong, but not necessarily his best civ. So I'm kind of expecting him to do something a bit aggressive early on, and make use of the fact that this map doesn't have that many resources. So he might be able to force Kaiser off some of these berry patches and some of the hunts, and try and force Kaiser to take an extended age too, maybe.
Yeah, and just as you said, we don't see Hazza making a house. He's currently at 10 out of 10
No.
population.
Oh my goodness.
So I think we're going to see, is this going to be a 10-10 aggro? Because I've also seen people be doing 10-10 Carnimadas lately. What do you think it'll be?
It's got to be the aggro, and he's found this 100 food as well. So he's just going to quickly pick up this coin and then go over to this 100 food. I don't know if it's. I think it might be in time to help his age up. Well, I'm not sure actually because he's coming up on 600
Mm-hmm.
food. If only he could have got this, earlier, this could have been an insanely fast age up. But if we want to see if it's going to be an aggro or carny, I guess we can wait to see if he sends out a villager because he's coming up on 650 food now.
Yep,
So
there it
yeah,
is.
there he goes. Yeah, so he's definitely going to be doing this really aggressive. I'm a little concerned though. Kaiser's explorers head into the middle, and it's because it's the cross trading post spawns, right? You can't place an aggro fort down on this anywhere where there's a trading line, and Kaiser's going to see the villager. All
Oh,
right, but Hazard gets it down.
okay.
Cool. So
So
it's yeah.
the aggro's been placed at 215. It is going to be a pretty speedy age up. And Germany does have his early TP, though. We'll see if he scouts it. It does. He scouts the aggro right now. So
Yeah, that's really useful for Kaiser because it's going to help him make a few decisions. Like if he had extra villagers in queue now, he's probably going to decide, right, no more villagers after this one that comes out. He probably wants to try and age up that little bit faster. So it's really nice scouting it literally within like a second of the aggro being placed down. So he's kind of got all the information he needs, which is nice. And I'm interested to see if Hazard adds a consulate with this. I don't know though. I'm not sure you can actually get away with doing a consulate as well as getting out a full batch of sepoy. And it looks like he's probably not going to, just judging by his villager distribution, because we've already got 4 on food at the moment. Normally, if you're going to go for a consulate, you would have maybe all your villagers on wood right now. So I think it's just going to be this 12 sepoy aggression that we see quite often from India.
yeah, and we'll see if it works. For those unfamiliar, Sepoy's hit points were nerfed by 10, I believe, which the critical change is that the town center will now two-shot them. So we haven't seen a lot of this 12 Sepoy rush play lately in EP, but we'll see how it fares in this matchup.
Yeah, so I'm expecting Kaiserklein to go for a single racks defense and to make crossbows and try and hold with it maybe a few military shipments, the Minutemen, the bit of town center fire, and yeah, he's adding a wall as well. I've seen him do this quite a bit against India actually. He usually just stays behind the wall and tries to exploit the range of the crossbows because they do have a slightly longer range than sepoys. So it's kind of what I'm expecting. And yeah, Hazard's already aged up. So I mean, this is. Oh, he didn't have a shipment ready, so the shipment's only just come in, which is a little unfortunate for him, because the shipment actually takes a lot. It takes a bit longer to send than the batch of sepoys to train. But it's still going to be a very, very fast. I mean, we can see Kaiser still hasn't aged yet. But it's a decent age up time for Germany. Sometimes they can age up around 5 minutes. But since Kaiser did get that early information, he knew just to cut that extra vil.
Right, and we do see the immediate racks from him. And I'm going to be interested to see what his first card is. Sometimes I've seen Maida ship 8 bows first against an early Sepoy aggression. But I don't know if that's going to be an overreaction here or not with this wall. We'll see how he plays it. Ooh, 4 Soyars coming out instead of the shipment of Sepoys.
Yeah. And something to bear in mind as well is that Kaiser doesn't have enough coin available to call Minutemen. He'd potentially have to sell at the market, but even then it wouldn't work. So the Minutemen is not available right now. So he's going to have to defend this just with TC Fire, and he loses a villager straight away.
Ooh.
And there's the bows.
There's the bows.
But he can't call the Minutemen.
No, he's going to have to do some remarkable Vil micro. And there you are. You see him popping them out. The settler wagons, the tank.
Yeah. And, ooh, can the bows get away just in time? Yeah, the settler wagons are taking down the Sours along with good focus fire from the town center.
Yeah, and the elephants now coming in maybe a bit late, but they're coming in nonetheless.
Yeah, but I think this TC fire is going to do quite well now, cleaning out the rest of the Sepoy. And if he can get that settler wagon back in, did he just lose it?
No,
was that a crossbow? No, it was a crossbow that went down.
Yeah.
So he's only lost 1 villager, right?
Right.
And he's cleaned this up.
That was really nice micro by him.
So yeah, that was the remarkable villager micro, which you said was required, right?
Yeah.
Just happened, and rush held for now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got 3 more Sepoys, but I mean the town centers should be able to deal with that if he can just 2-shot them.
Yeah, although 3 settler wagons coming in, which I think is a fine decision.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was pretty nice micro from Hazza though. The quick melee on the Sepoys and then the volley afterwards just destroyed that one Ulan. But I mean, he's running out of. He's running a little bit out of steam. He's trying to keep it going though. I mean, we got a few more Sepoys trickling in. I think there's the shipment of 5 is coming afterwards.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like Kaiser's done well to hold this so far, but it's not completely fizzled out just yet. And can Hazza catch these units outside of the protection? He might be able to get a couple of volleys off on the crossbows.
Yeah,
it's going to be close.
He has a lot of things on his plate right now to worry about. He's doing a nice job garrisoning in the low HP villagers and keeping his explorer alive to harass. But he really needs out another full batch of 5 bows to be able to handle the Sepoy pressure, I feel.
Yeah, and I think throughout a lot of this, Kaiser's had to cut villager production just to be able to get things out. So his economy's not in the best of shape. I was just having a look at the recalculated economic unit population, and they're even at the moment. So that's a nice situation for India to be in. And yeah, this is pretty cool by Kaiser. A good way of defending this is to only have your settler wagons out and gathering, because they're really hard to shoot down when they've got. Oh, he hasn't even got villager hit points yet. I guess he just hasn't had the food. Wow. He's on like 45 food, and you know, all the food's going into crossbows. Nice melee mode by Hazza. I don't know, it's still going on this rush. I thought it was cleaned up.
Yeah, this is still a trickle of Sepoy units from the Indian player, and still these bows doing their best to try to get it done. And this elephant finally going down, but still being quite a nuisance. And yeah, there's still 5 Sepoys. Oh, Minutemen finally being called. I forgot about those.
All right, so that should clean him up for now. Yeah, Hazard decided to go back. He had a batch of 4 more Sepoys coming in. We'll have to see what Kaiser does with his resources, because he shipped the 700 wood, but he wasn't really able to spend it just because he wasn't able to gather food. So he's got 900 wood banked. And that's not something you can easily like convert into an age up and decide, right, oh, I'm going to quickly age up now with my banked 900 wood. You kind of just have to spend it on crossbows, I suppose. Maybe you can get another trading post up with that. We'll see. But yeah, I guess this has forced him to stay age 2 for at least 2 or 3 minutes longer, and he might have to make a few crossbows, or we'll see though. I think he's going to ship 700 coin pretty soon as his next card, and at least try and think about aging up.
Yeah, I think so too. And the nice thing for Kaiser's benefit is that he knows that 4 Sawyers have already been shipped. He doesn't really have to worry about I mean, as we can see, there's no stable yet added for Hazza. So I think he might feel safe, like you said, just aging up off of this 700 coin and getting to H3 safely.
Yeah, but yeah, it's going to take a bit longer just because he can't really spend that wood. We can still see he's got like 500 wood banks, so that's kind of a little bit annoying for him. And Hazza's eco has taken the lead. Hazza's got his market up now. He's getting a few market upgrades. And we can see he's also added the consulate. So I think what's going to happen here is Hazza senses that Kaiser's going to age up just because it was what Germany does, right? You want to get to the fortress age. And so I think he's going to... Are we going to see a British consulate? I'm waiting to see what it changes to, and I think he's going to try and hit a timing again. But this time, the town centre won't be able to two-shot the sepoys if it goes to British consulate, and it might be something that Kaiser finds really hard to hold.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, we'll see what he does.
Oh, the shipment's in now, so the consulate's gonna change. I'm gonna see if it's Ottoman or British because those are your two options usually. I think it's going to be British. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, okay, he's gone Ottoman, but he's moving in at the same time. I guess he wants the Hussars. Since you said like he's already spent his 4-hour shipment, right? So the only way to easily get cavalry up if you don't have a stable is the Hussars.
Right, and Hazza's going to be... I mean, Kaiser's going to be clicking up here in just a few seconds. It's going to be... This is going to be another timing to hold, right? He's going to have to ship skirms or war wagons and make skirms and do some fancy little micro in order to hold this. But I think it's doable. Yeah, more units trickling in. Like you said, they're the Hussars. Yeah,
so Kaiser does have a shipment available, which is really nice, and it's on the way right now. Also, really nice by Kaiser that he managed to get out his remaining army. I mean, it's not much, but he managed to hide it away.
Right.
The worst bit is if like the aggressive player sees it before you can get your shipment sent, and then if they kill that, and then they can kill your shipment a lot easier. So good by Kaiser to get this away. He's got some production on the bottom right. The shipment is going to be coming in pretty soon, so I think
he's been focusing the Hussars, so I want to say it's going to be the skirms.
Yep.
Yeah.
There they are. I think we might see the settler wagons coming out, possibly. There they are as well, going to body block. Oh. So Hazza's going to... Oh!
He's ignoring them completely. Or no, he's meleeing him. He just wants to do eco damage.
Yeah, I think he went into melee just to quickly kill the Uhlans, because the Uhlans are annoying because they can get kind of a snare off and stop you chasing the skirms. So he's killed all the Uhlans. The 8 skirms are annoying because Kaiser's micro is pretty decent. So he takes a volley and he's going to keep running back.
3 more Hussars coming in.
Oh,
those are going to get cleaned up.
Yeah, that's going to seal the deal on that. And throughout all of this, Kaiser still hasn't been producing villages just because he hasn't had the resources. So the eco's a huge difference now. Kaiser did get enough XP to send another shipment, but now he's got like no standing army at all. So I suppose it could be the 3 war wagons, and he might have to exploit his gate on the left and do a bit of kiting there.
Yeah, I think so. He does have a barracks up here that he can produce skirmishers if he gets the resources, but he's 18 idle villages right now, and the Hussars are smartly coming over this left side of the map to apply pressure to these vulnerable resources.
Yeah, does he doesn't have enough wood to build a gate right now. So he bought 100 wood. Yeah, he needs to get out.
Yeah.
Oh,
and 10 Tiger Claws coming in now. Hazza's just not letting up the pressure. He senses that Kaiser's under a lot of pressure, and he's just going to keep going.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a spike there. Maybe it was just the Tiger Claws spawning on the map. He's going to have to kite really well with the war wagons against this. The war wagons can do quite well. They're pretty fast.
Donation train.
I think they get a bonus against Tiger Claws. I'll see. The problem is they'll overkill them, but he's going for the Hussars instead, which is good because they're the high HP unit. So he takes down 2 of those. He's probably going to get the last one pretty fast as well.
Yeah, and so now there's still no staple on the map for the Indian player. So potentially 7 skirms could maybe help keep him in the game. Once he gets that shipment, he's about 3/4 away here. He's trying his best to micro with these awkward war wagons.
They're not getting away, are they? I mean, they've been snared now, and the Hazza's, he's right on top of them with the sepoy. In fact, some of them are in melee mode, so it's going to go down very fast.
And there's another 10 sepoys in his base at the moment.
Yeah, Kaiser's in real trouble. I don't think he has another shipment yet. I mean, his XP is getting up towards another shipment, but his eco now is the difference in economy is huge right now, and Hazza's even just sent foreign login. I think Kaiser knows it's not going as well.
We did do a lag test for those wondering before the stream went live.
Kaiser is not happy.
Of course, with this style of play, micro is pretty important when you're dealing with sepoy mass.
Yeah.
He does have 2 skirmishers out. He's going to try to get the most value out of them as possible, but like you said, the economy differences at this point favoring Hazza. And that's game 1. It goes to Hazza.
That was pretty well played. Yeah, even found the settler wagons on the left. Yeah, we can change casters. That's not a problem. I think Hazza did say it might be. Well, yeah, we'll see. We can try our arrangement since Kaiser wasn't overly pleased. It was a nice game 1 though.
It was a nice
Right,
game. I like seeing the 10-10 aggro play out of India. Alright, so we'll work on potentially finding another co-caster. Sometime this time of day on weekdays, it can be a little short. Unfortunately, well, maybe this is fortunately, the priority tends to go towards the players to provide them the most competitive environment that can be provided. Of course, this tournament is for money. There's quite a bit of money at stake. I just repeated the word money twice now, 3 times. But with a decent sized prize pool, we want to give players the best environment possible. So I will navigate Discord for a while and see if we have a co-caster. In the meantime, let me throw in this AoE3 music. Or, you know, let's do the overlay. I think that this is what the overlay is for. By the way, we did have a donation during that game. I don't have access to the Streamlabs account, so I can't exactly see what it was, but it should have popped up on stream for you guys. Big shout out to that. Thanks for the donation, guys. It helps keep these tournaments going. That looks a little strange, the 1-0. Oh well. Alright, we'll be back in just a second, guys. Alright, we're back. Let me get all these overlays off. Fortunately, we don't have a co-caster available right now, so it looks like I'll just be casting this series by myself for the time being. It is a best of 7, so it has the potential to be very long, so we might get a co-caster before then. But until then, you're stuck with me, fellas, women, and gentlemen. We are going into game number 2 of this best of 7 in the round of 8 between Kaiserklein and Hazza. Game number 1 went to Hazza with an exciting 10-10 12 Sepoy rush. Well, actually it wasn't a 12 Sepoy rush. He shipped the Soars first, which is a variation you don't see very often, but which proved to be fairly effective. The second map is Florida. We have herdable sheeps and water. Hazza is playing the civilization Spain in the color red in the northeast, and in the southwest is Kaiser in the color blue playing France. And nice little tidbit to note on this map is that each player starts with the market. And real quick, let me check the hunts. Hazza starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything looks nice and fair. Mines look nice and fair. All right, both players have a water shipment point. Okay, map balance has been checked out. Hazza's going to be spotting a native scout treasure right away, and Kaiser's native scout spot Hazza's explorer right away. Meanwhile, Kaiser will be picking up 100 food. That'll help his early game macro a bit, as I do believe it was a food start, not a wood start. So now the Spanish player has both his starting war dog and a native scout, to Kaiserklein's just native scout. And as a result, I think he's going to lose his explorer. This is, of course, a pretty interesting matchup. You don't see it very often. Or perhaps you do. Spain is going to want to typically go for their fortress-style play, either that be a naked FF, or potentially we could see some greedier play with maybe Stagecoach or ATP in between. Although I wouldn't really see ATP on this map, and he doesn't have it in his deck because oftentimes these last 2 trading posts can't be taken by the other player. Kaiserklein does escape with his Explorer, which is nice. He will want to build a trading post and transition, most likely. If we look at text completed, both players got their early hunting dogs, Kaiserklein a little earlier. But it's nice for Spain to get that, as they don't normally go for an early market, but this map affords him that opportunity. Apologies for the quietness between my voice. I'd like for the Age of Empires music to play, but it seems like it bugs for me. Says that there might still be some delay. Let me try to minimize as many things on my screen as I can. Though I'm not dropping frames, but we'll see how it goes. If the delay is not one of the casters, it's possible we might be able to get WickedCossack back. We'll see. Alright, okay, so Kaiser, it's okay to play this game. After this game, I'll allow them a chance to do a lag test without anybody in the game. So, both players are aging up. Kaiser in position to take this trading post as he would like to. The very standard 3 villager shipments coming in for both players. And Spain is also taking a trading post and transition. We'll see if the French player decides to go for any sort of early aggression with maybe a forward base and some early musketeers. Or if he's going to try to go to H3 as well, maybe something with like a quick naked FF. Or it's also possible he goes for something like a Musk-Huss, maybe 8-bow timing push when Spain ages up. We'll see exactly how he plays it. If we look at treasures, of course Kaiserklein for Hazza getting the native scout. Kaiserklein with 100 food. Otherwise, not much else being taken. 80 wood by Hazza. There's still this, I believe, 105 coin treasure on the map, which is not too bad, and 135 coin right there, as well as 120 coin right here. So this map has those nice small to or medium to large size coin treasures, which can be traded for wood easily at the market or help with an age up. We'll see where Hazza places his tower he gets from age up, of course, and he gets the 200 coin. And it looks like Kaiserklein is trying to look for this. And he'll scout it here. But Hazza's Explorer and the War Dog are going to shut that down. So he's not going to see exactly where it's placed. And this is fairly aggressive placement. It's at least across half map. And 4 CDB coming in for Kaiser. And no military building going down, so I would not be surprised to see a naked FF here. And he might be gathering for the age up. I believe he is. He's gathering well over 300 coin, which normally would be supplemented by the 700 coin shipment. So I think he's just going to gather for this age up. Oh my gosh, these are some cheeky walls. Hazza's Explorer is not in position to deal with this right now. And he's doing the nice little trick where you just build a little bit on each wall, because then no units can go in and out of them, and then you finish them up later. And this is really cheeky. We'll see if he loses his CDB though to some War Dogs. It looks not. Hazza is aging up. Meanwhile, Kaiserklein is getting close. He has sent his next shipment, which I suspect will be 700 wood. Yep, and it hits the floor right now. An in-base barracks coming down for Hazza. Normally you see that closer to the outpost, but perhaps these walls made him change his mind. We are getting some spikes here. That's unfortunate. So, an extra 4 War Dogs being trained for Hazza, and actually this is going to take out the CDB. This is just dead, unless he does a pull trick. He's going to try. He's trying to pull. Ooh, and that's very nice. Kaiser does a very nice job with that. That's a little sort of micro trick that can be used by grouping one unit, which is farther back, with more units forward. And I'm not too great at executing it, but Kaiserklein has it very, very down now. And we see actually this Explorer is getting good damage on these walls. Of course, the ESOC patch did nerf wall hit points by about half. They're 1,500 now instead of 3,000. However, when you do upgrade them to Bastion, they do regain their full, I believe it's 6,000 hit points, something like that. So, both players picked up at about the same time. Has a slow aging with the 4 Hussars, which he shipped to his town center. I'm not even sure if these walls bug shipment points or not. Perhaps that was a safe bet. These 4 War Dogs are just being a nuisance. And we'll see. I don't know if Kaiserklein had his shipment quite yet. He should have, I think. We'll see what he decides to do. Yep, 5 goons pop right here. And that's nice. And a batch of 1 skirmisher. And another batch of 5 goons. So it looks like he's going to go for some goon-heavy playstyle, which is actually quite nice composition against early Spain. A lot of times they do a lot of heavy infantry with the 2 falconets. So goons are a nice counter to that. But we see Hazza making the 5 skirmishers from his racks. Normally Spain makes musketeers in transition, and then supplements his cavalry with a lot of pikemen and rodoleros, but I think this is a better move by Hazza to forego the musketeers and make skirmishers. But he did ship 12 pike. That's a questionable shipment, and I think... Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What to do? Oh, he has a shipment back. Did he not? Does he not have his shipment back? Strange. That is really strange. I'm not a tournament admin, so I'm not sure what the protocol is here. You're only normally supposed to rehost within 2 minutes. 9 minutes is a bit late, but missing an entire shipment is also a bit broken. And we'll see what the players decide to do. Can anyone on the stream confirm that he lost a ship? I believe he lost a shipment too. I'm gonna try to ask. I'm gonna try to ask in the Discord. So, okay, so this event is just happening now on stream. Someone says you don't get it back. You don't get it back. That's just an unfortunate exploit. We can't do anything about that. So Hazza's gonna have to keep playing without his 12 pike. Which is, I mean, losing a Fortress Age shipment, that's... that's almost... That's like GG. It feels GG. Wow. So, confirm that the walls bugged the shipment point. If it's any solace, he's going to get 120 coin. Maybe, if these goons don't pick him off. And 8 Rodoleros coming in now. All these war dogs, unfortunate. He's losing those for free. And he has 2 SRs still left from the age up. Perhaps he could go raid down south. And meanwhile, this native scout is doing a lot of work for Kaiserklein. Even with the explorer right here, it's not being scouted. Finally goes down now. So it looks like Kaiserklein is just going for the skirm goon composition, and with Spain missing a shipment, that might just be fine. Although I do believe that if we look at all units, 21 skirmishers to 14. So Hazza currently wins the skirmisher war, and it looks like he knows that, and he's going to keep poking. And 5 lancers coming out now, along with 5 more skirms. Is this go time? There are a lot of goons on the floor. The Rotterdam is coming in a little late. 2 falconets coming in now for the France player. Excuse me. A great timing by him. Nearly all the lancers are dead, and there's just infantry now. Oh, the falconets doing their awkward packing up. Not doing the greatest damage, but still a nice trade for Kaiser, I believe. The CDB escapes with Great Coat, and the falconets get a volley off on the Explorer. So military unit populations in definite favor of Kaiserklein. Recalculated economic populations in definite favor of Kaiserklein. And he gets another shipment already. So Spain is just losing a lot of steam here. The nice thing is even this remaining wall segment gives them nice line of sight for what might pop out of this tower. If he's quick to notice it, that is. Meanwhile, some not ideal walking time for the Spanish villagers. And he's just going pure skirmishers, I mean. But now Kaiser's starting to mix in gendarmes. So 2 falconets coming in for Hazza as well, and I think Hazza is just going pure skirmisher because he knows that he can't win this game outright anymore. And then he needs to sort of cheese something out of Kaiser. Like perhaps if he just doesn't make hand-calf. But Kaiser obviously sees that. He's making cures now. And Hazza doing nice falconet control. Every time you shoot, you need to back up your falconets or else they'll get shot by these ones. And wow, that was some insane falconet range. Some more Rotoleros coming in. Just gendarmes are such a nice unit, and Rotoleros are you know, they have high melee resistance and they're decent units for their cost. But with 2 falconets for the France player and gendarmes, I just don't know if there's going to be enough anti-cav. But you need something to block these falconets, of course. If you have Skirm Goon, you can't kite and you lose your falconets for free. So it looks like he's just going to keep making Rotoleros. And I don't know if he has his 2 Hussars left. No, he does not. If you look at text completed, all the players have their necessary market ups. Kaiser even getting blunderbuss for CDBs to help improve their attack. And the 3 Cuirassier shipment coming in for Kaiser. So he's really, yeah, he's going heavy on the cures. I think it's going to be a really deadly composition. Although, as I say this, more Rotoleros are being made. Perhaps he could add some Lancers as well. And cords of 1,000. Oh no. Oh no, being shipped to the outpost. He recognizes it. But does Kaiser have line of sight here? He does. Oh no. This is devastating. He sees it now at the wall. He has to see it. Hazza's army is not totally in position. Just gonna have to garrison these. Oh, and he's brought 3 CDB as well. Oh, but the Falks, Kaiser didn't move his back fast enough. Oh, but they still traded volleys. And there's just not enough Rotoleros. These Cures are gonna clean up. Kaiser still has his Falk left. That's a very unfortunate game. The walls here were really cheeky and proved to be exploitable and kind of broken. Just losing a shipment is... you can't really come back from that. And the 1,000 wood to the tower was just icing on the cake. I mean, Hazza just lost all of his tempo, which is the only thing he has going for him against France. So that's game 2. Goes to Kaiserklein in a wonky sort of way. We'll move on to the next one. I'd love to get the AoE music going, but my sound is just so bugged. You heard it, the only time I played that game was after Hazza resigned. Well, it looks like we might get WickedCossack back. I will reach out to him in Discord and the chat, because I believe he's watching. And I will be relieved to have a co-caster. Of course, Wicked is a wonderful player himself, quite a bit better than me, and he has a bit more strategical insight into the game and the sort of subtle nuances that matchups possess. I'm just a lowly PR31. I had to sneak that in at some point during the stream. Wicked is not online at the moment, though. I'm still figuring things out. We're still sorting some things out behind the scenes. Meanwhile, players are picking their civs. Kaiserklein locks Russia. And the map is, well, I closed out of my browser so it lagged less, so I don't know. Kaiserklein was really banking on his strategy that he won the first game with Germany. For those wondering, the series is tied 1-1. Game 1 was on Fertile Crescent. Hazza was India, and Kaiser was Germany. Game 2 was on Florida, as you just saw, which Kaiser won as France versus Hazza's Spain. And I might just keep casting by myself. Which is really not too big of a deal. I don't think Mido is online. Or he is. Oh, he is bad internet. Also, I'm pretty sure he flies out. I'm fairly certain he flies today. He goes back to where he has good internet. Oh, I can get Discord on my phone. I might pull that up. Okay. We're going to game number 3. Map is Thar Desert. It's a no trading post map with its characteristic lolling hills and elephant herds. It's game number 3 in our best of 7 and the round of 8. And then the south of the map in the color blue is Kaiserklein, Russia. And then the north is Hazza54321, Aztecs. Quick look at map balance. We do see 1, 2, 3, 4 hunts for each player and 2 sort of in the middle, with each player starting with a hunt. Everything looks nice and fair. Gold mines look fair, 4 for each player. We are good to go. Of course, these 2 civilizations are sort of notorious aggressors. They love drawn-out H2, although perhaps Aztec more than Russia is more proficient in that style of play. With 9 mace, 8 mace Holton shipments, along with 6 Puma. They have very aggressive openings. And with this early fire pit and this warrior priest who dances for experience, it's almost as if he has, you know, half of a trading post, which is a huge boost for early aggressive plays. And both explorers spotting each other. Hazza's going to want to try to get that snare on Kaiser. Kaiser doesn't want to get snared, but he wants to try to put off a little bit of damage. Looks like both will just sort of be running away from each other. It looks like Kaiser had started on this 85 wood treasure and Hazza spotted him. This map does have nice large-sized wood treasures. Here's 90 wood and by closer to Hazza. Looks like those are the only 2 significant wood treasures on the map, though. Nice little village. Ooh, and the snare is coming down. Nice fill micro by Kaiser in the early game. It was a wood start, it seems, but he didn't collect his second wood crate because he won't be using it in age 1. This will allow him to get an age up with perhaps 0 idle time, or at least less idle time. Nice close herds for Hazza. This is unfortunate though, pathing around the mine. Looks like he'll have to kill this ibex next. I'm actually not too familiar with that animal. Looks like they have some horns. They kind of look a little mountain goaty. Well, this is a sort of hilly, more desert landscape. I assume they're probably African Sahara animals or something or another. Meanwhile, there's 85 wood treasure still up for contention, and Kaiserklein wants to go for it, I can tell, but he decided against it. So okay, Kaiserklein has picked up 50 wood, and that's it. That's the only treasure taken. If we look at shipment sent, 3 villagers for Hazza, very standard. Distributivism for Kaiserklein, also very standard. That is a wood trickle, and which is sort of Russia's equivalent to 3 bells. And now both players are aging up. The Aztec player does like to age up fastly. That's generally meta. And then they'll ship 700 wood as soon as they age up. they can afford to do this because of the warrior priest who dances for experience. Meanwhile, wow, there's still contention for this 85 wood. And either way, Kaiserklein is going to lose his explorer, which is his only scouting unit. Although Kaiserklein did get the treasure. He will, though, have no insight onto what the Aztec player is doing. For instance, will he be doing some sort of warrior priest play? Is he going to place an aggressive war hut? How aggressive? And as we see, his response to this is to play safe and just place an in-base, very defensive blockhouse with defensive walls. Very defensive walls. And he does have a nice 50 coin treasure in his base, actually. But he has no explorer. And meanwhile, here comes the war hut for Hazza. Seems as though he delayed it with the 700. Oh, no, the 700 wood just landed now. So this will be a fairly standard and typical war hut time. And Kaiserklein has now just reached H2. Let's see. Kaiserklein has built a market. Let's look at text completed. None. Text being researched. Okay, Kaiserklein is getting hunting dogs now. And this is a nice little pickup for the Aztec player. He gets the 55 coin and he gets this beefy Mongol riders, 270 hit points, and does 8 range attack. Which the attack is not too important, but it's a nice unit to add to his composition. Meanwhile, the Russian explorer is still down. And the market coming in now for the Aztec player, and 700 wood coming in for the Russian player. This is perhaps not a fairly standard first card for Russia. A lot of times they like to do 5 Cossacks, though that's generally with their more aggressive play styles. It looks like he really wants just infrastructure and he wants to kind of start Strelitz. Perhaps he's expecting an infantry rush by Hazza. But instead, Hazza's opting to make 5 coyotes, which potentially could spot this villager down here. Oh, see, and Kaiser, he's not going to be able to pull it fast enough, and it goes down. So that's a nice pickup by him. Hazza very smartly went this way, I believe, first to try to kill any units, which might be resurrecting the explorer. Meanwhile, 3 warrior priests come down for him. So this is not an aggressive opening by Hazza at all. He's just going to make these coyotes and sort of passively raid, make sure that this explorer can't be resurrected. And Kaiserklein, as a result of not having a scouting unit, has made for this very defensive style with N-base Strelitz. However, the 700 coin did allow him some flexibility. He laid down a stable, and now he's going to be able to make Cossacks to help defend these raids. But meanwhile, Hazza will just dance for more warrior priests, I believe. And you have to wonder if Kaiserklein should have herded in an elephant or so, something sooner. Because right now he does not have very much hunt left in his base. And he's just continuing to make Strelitz. Has his momentarily popped. Text completed. Kaiserklein nicely has steel traps. Russia, of course, loves that as he's making villagers and also Strelitz, which are very food heavy. And now he's going to go resurrect his explorer, which is a nice window for him to do that. So it looks like Hazza's game plan is just to sort of take map control. He's not even dancing for extra warrior priests, he's just dancing for experience. And he's going to ship 600 wood next. I expect him to reinforce his forward base with another war hut. Perhaps maybe establish some map control over here, or protect some of his more exposed resources. He has a really large coyote mass right now, and right now it's pretty much just purely Strelitz for the Russian player, and now 10 maces come in. So what this signifies to me is that Hazza is sort of gearing up for his critical mass. He sent the 3 warrior priests pretty early. He's going to get a lot of experience out of that. He's going to get a lot of shipments he can send. And both players are just sending units right now. So both players are sort of gearing up for this. I don't think Kaiser can push out into this. There's a huge coyote mass here, and there's I I mean, but there are a lot of Cossacks. They aren't Boyard though. There's no Boyards here yet. This is too risky. He has to go back. Imagine a shipment is on its way. It's gonna pop here any second. But Hazza's army is out of position. But there's still a lot. There are a lot of coyotes here. Kaiserklein's gonna need to build a gate. And this Aztec explorer is snaring the cavalry. And we'll see how well Cossacks fare versus coyotes. The battle of the one population cavalry unit. And 6 Pumas coming in now for Hazza, so that's real nice timing. That being said, that trade did not go too terribly for him. But this is where it gets tricky. I mean, these villagers are all... I mean, he's going to have to protect this hunt. He can't play without it. Perhaps I'll lower the game volume just a bit. Perhaps I'll lower it just a bit more. Oh, see, and here comes the raid. That's going to be at least 1 bill. Yep, and he smartly backs off. Just a nice little pickup for him. And 4 Cossacks coming in now. I expect the next shipment to be Boyars for Kaiserklein. It's about 2/3 of the way here. And 5 Coyotes coming in for the Aztec player. You don't see that card a lot. But Hazza recognizes that Kaiserklein doesn't have any safe resources to gather, and he has to go now. And we'll see how well Kaiser manages to micro off these Pumas pretty nicely, but there's too many Cossacks on the floor. Or too many Coyote runners. And the shipment is just now coming, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Does he have Greatcoat? No. He's going to have to use his villagers to hold here. What's coming? What's in queue? 1 Cossack in queue is all. Although he will have the resources to complete it. And he might escape with enough of his villagers. He has a wood for a wall, or for a gate, but his units got too close to it and he couldn't make it in time. Will he call Minutemen here? He might be able to clean this up with Minutemen. Coyote combat hitting at a nice time though. Coyote combat versus non-Boyard Cossacks. And they're going to trade quite well. 13 Strelets. But another 5 Coyotes coming in. This is close. But he still just has no safe place to gather, and he desperately wants to get this blockhouse done. Hazza nicely picking off the low HP villager. Will continue to pick him off. Unless the Strelets can... Okay, they're there to stop it. His Explorer is still over here. It could probably be used. A couple of Cossacks are thinking about raiding. Thought against it. Right now, he just really needs to secure this hunt. And it's not going to last him too long either. If you're Hazza, you think, maybe I just let him have this hunt and focus on denying these 2. But he's going to push in here. And yeah, Kaiserklein has to use his villagers to fight here. He's doing a great job with it though. He's getting them right in the tank. Hazza's doing a nice job ignoring them. And they're just too many Coyotes. Game 3 goes to Hazza. He takes a 2-1 game, or 2-1 game lead in the series. Excuse me. Very well played by him. I liked what was going there. I think perhaps Kaiser kind of suffered from his inability to scout in the early game. He didn't know that Hazza wasn't going to go for this all-out rush, and as a result, he wasn't able to secure. He wasn't able to secure any map control. Imagine, for instance, if he, places War Hut around here, so and got out some Musketeers. Sure, Musketeers are probably very bad to start against Aztec in general, but with the Coyote start. But of course, there's no way for him to know it, and this is one of the benefits that I get as being a caster, is I can sort of see everything that happens, and I have total insight, but the players are playing blind. It's much harder to make those reads end game, especially when your Explorer died in Age 1. I have to say, I think the 5 Coyote shipment by Hazza was really nice timing. A lot of people just dismiss a card and say it's low value, it's not worth ever sending, but That's probably the perfect time to send it. He was able to deny that blockhouse that hunt, and he killed several villagers. Nice decision by him. I don't know why I have Germany. It's a bit silly. Hazza's going to take a quick break. I am going to make some coffee, but let me get some AoE3 music so it's not just so quiet. I really like the AoE3 music, that's why I keep going to it. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, I'm back. I see someone whisper me. Alright, civilization rules. I should be more familiar with those. I believe Civs resets after the halfway point, so yes, you can't play France. So it looks like he's going to go Brits. He's locked in as Brits. Has his locked in as ports. Neither player's played these civs so far, so. And I have myself another nice hot cup of Joe. Does anyone know why they call coffee Joe? Like a cup of Joe. Is that maybe a US thing, or do other cultures say it like that as well? Not sure. Let me know in the chat. Well, I'll be casting, so I probably won't read, but maybe someone else will learn why. I don't know. I'm trying to make small talk. Okay, this is game number 4. Hazza is winning the series 2-1. The score is correct. Let's do introductions very quickly. In the north of the map, in the color red is Hazza playing EP ports, and in the south, in the color blue, is Kaiser playing the British civilization. It is a wood start. Portuguese player will likely want to go for a trading post, unless he ATPs. I'll talk about that more later. Meanwhile, Kaiserklein has the option to go for a trading post or make 2 in-base manners. Real quick map check. Both players start with a herd, and then have 3 close to their town centers. I believe this is fair. This looks fair to me. Well, great. So there it is. Hazza is laying down that trading post. As I mentioned before, if players want to go for an ATP playstyle, which might be suitable on this map, he can choose to save his wood and then wait for the card to come in, which makes him 140 wood and quite a bit cheaper. But it looks like he's just going to go for that trading post right off the bat. And smartly, very smartly picking off a treasure guardian with his crack shot before he starts the trading post. It won't delay his trading post by all that much time, although as I say that, he might miss the pass. But it really gives him a head start on this nice villager treasure. Meanwhile, Kaiserklein is picking up the Cherokee Rifleman, and it looks like he's actually went to go for the in-base market variation of the 300 wood start. This is probably the least common, but he started with 50 coin in his base, so completely viable with a 50 coin treasure. It looks like he just wanted to get that market down. And he does make the first pass, so very nice play by Hazza to crack shot this bear, get the pass, and as a result, you should be able to take this before Kaiser even has a chance to scout it. His crack shot should be recharging. I think he'll just wait to use that. If you look at both players' decks, Kaiserklein is a very, very typical British deck. Not a card looks out of place or surprising. Meanwhile, Hazza has a very typical Portuguese deck. Perhaps 600 food is a little questionable, but because Portuguese don't have villager shipments, you know, you can afford to put these resources in your deck like this. Perhaps he's missing like a Cav Combat or a similar card in H3, but typical deck, and a villager getting misrallied. Unfortunate. Sometimes this happens, and actually with this Cherokee Rifleman, it's in danger of dying if that Explorer could get the snare. But thankfully, has a notice before the Explorer could snare. Kaiserklein aging up now. This is a nice British age up time. He had no idle time. That snare coming down, and Hazza showing he can pull villagers too. Very nice out of him. Nice mechanics from both these players, of course. Very nice players. If you look at shipments sent, economic theory coming in for the Portuguese player. Because they don't have 3 villagers, they have some flexibility with their first card. Some players prefer to save it out of preference. Others like to send economic theory. I like to send economic theory when you start with the trading post. Otherwise, you go into H2 with almost like 3 shipments stacked, and it just seems like such a waste. You have to wait for those shipments to come in anyways. Economic theory provides you a little bit of economic stimulus, as you would think. Kaiserklein picking up 90 food, and he sent a villager mid-map to FB, and his 2 hunts have really wandered on him, but so have Hazza's. The hunt wander in this game is actually insane. Hazza's going to pick up 60 wood, which is a nice little pickup. Let's look at market techs. Kaiserklein getting gang saw, very wonderful. And let's see what he decides to do. He's placing an aggressive Rax, and this is not scouted by Hazza at all. I'm not sure what these are doing. Is he gonna proxy rush? These are forward base fills. You don't send 2 villagers out like this. Wow. Both players are not gonna scout what they're... What are these doing? Does he have him grouped with his explorer? I think he might have had him grouped with his explorer. They don't know what they want to do. The town center coming down over here. And the forward base is going to be scouted by Hazza, and ooh, this is just strange play. This is just out of position. For instance, Kaiserklein can choose to completely ignore this base and just march right into the economic center of Hazza's base and do valuable damage. The second TC is out of the way. There's nothing. Also, there's nothing protecting these 2 Raxes. This is very strange, to say the least. But it hasn't been scouted by Kaiserklein still, so there's potential that this could do some damage. Although there are no villagers on this hunt. And as we see, I mean, Kaiserklein is just coming straight into the base. He's looking for a military building and he doesn't see it. He has to be wondering what's up. And is he going to get the villager? No. And Hazza smartly pulling back his other villagers. But this is a lot of lost valuable idle time. And the market's going to go down. And 700 food. Let's look at units in queue. Musketeers. I was a little slow. This just feels... it feels non-optimal. He's going to pick off 2 villagers though, which is... Well, that's nice, but... You don't want to really get in a musketeer war with the British. What he has going for him is he has 2 production facilities compared to Kaiserklein's 1. And because Kaiserklein shipped 5 vills next, he's going to not get that second racks up for a while. But he might not need it. Of course, later on in Age 2, British have these 2 very nice 15% attack, 15% hit point musketeer upgrade cards, which give their musketeers a huge edge in Age 2, as most civs don't have that. And it looks like he's going to go for this barracks, which might be the wrong play, but I can't tell. I mean, this raiding force by Hazza might actually get a lot done. Meanwhile, he has enough musketeers to defend this, and this is... Wow, he's picking off another villager. He's going to get 2. Do we see Greatcoat researched yet? No. 3. Wow, this is huge, actually. Wow, wow, wow. 3 Hussars coming in, but that's not going to be enough. He needs Minutemen or something with this to clean up. Perhaps he'll just rely on TC fire. Meanwhile, what do we have going on this front? 2 villagers that might be picked up. Yep. Oh, does he see him? Does he see him? No, Hazza sees him. He pulls him off. 8 bow coming in now for Hazza. And this is what's awkward about this Rax placement, is that there's no shipment point there. Meanwhile, wow, these musketeers might find another villager over here. I mean, British are only up 2 villagers. Is not something you want to see. And he might have enough units to hold. It's difficult. Where did the Hussars... Okay, here are the Hussars. For Kaiserklein. We have a lot of multitask coming in. 6 musketeers. Nicely shipped to the town center. That's going to deal with that. These 2 villagers are still alive. And the forward base is being brought down by Hazza. So... He's not aging. He really has to wonder what he's going to do now. To be honest, this play actually seemed to pay off. I mean, he picked off, how many was it? 7 villagers? That's huge. Meanwhile, he managed to save his 2 for his forward base. And he's going in for another raid. He's just playing the run-around style, which actually can be quite effective versus Brits. They're usually gathering from hunts away from their town center. And another 2 end-base racks coming down for Hazza. And he's still macroing for this musketeer unit composition. Although there is a nice window that Kaiserklein can push in here. half of Hazza's military is out raiding, and there are 4 Hussars here. Have Minutemen been called? No. So Hussars and Minutemen can clean up this actually quite nice. I'd like to see that actually a lot right now. I'd like to see Hussars and Minutemen. And there they are. He's deciding to back up from pushing into the base of Hazza. Let's look at this micro. Kaiserklein loses 1 Hussar. Not too bad to clean that up. Ooh, look at this. Is he gonna... Oh, Minutemen and 6 Musketeers. He's just trying to save himself. But are these 6 villagers gonna be spotted? I think so. And he gets the 1, and this one escapes with 1 HP. Ooh, that's a nice little cheeky shot. So, okay, a nice little pickup by Kaiserklein, but he's still behind in villagers. He does get 600 wood in. He's going to lay down, is this right? 2 more barracks? Oh, he lost the 1 up here. This is a really interesting game. You really don't see ports play H2 like this normally. And the economies and the militaries are all fairly the same. It's difficult to say who wins this. Both players have 0 HP Minutemen, adding DPS to their compositions. And these 2 villagers are just herding back this hunt. That's actually kind of crazy. Kaiserklein is going to really want this at some point. Although he has sort of secured this middle hunt. Perhaps that's where I'd like to see Hazza go with his army, is finish off this mid-map outpost, which is adding a lot of line of sight. I'd like to see the Musketeer upgrade cards next for Kaiser. Although he is pretty low eco, perhaps he needs to send 700 gold to mass. Yeah, nice raid with these 3 cav to find these 2 villagers. He's going to try his best to even up these villager populations. At this point in the game, you would think British should be ahead, and he's only at 100 mana pop, which is quite low. Losing some Hussar HP for free there. Some Musketeers will clean up those Hussars if they don't get caught, and they smartly run away. And okay, this looks like a fight that Kaiserklein's going to win. A lot of Hazza's military pop is out raiding, and these cav are doing a pretty nice job snaring, and now there's not a lot of room for Hazza to kite. He's on the edge of the map. Anywhere he goes can be cut off by Kaiserklein. And it looks like he's going to clean up just fine. Meanwhile, these raids are probably not going to find anything. And Hazza is shipped the 600 food. It doesn't look like he's aging. He's just spent resources, which I assume are in Musketeers. And now at this point, you feel if you're still in H2 versus Brits, even though he's done nice damage and he's killed 7 villagers, you have to wonder if it's really ideal, if it's what you want to be doing. Although as I say this raid might pick off 1, 2, 3 more villagers and a outpost coming up for line of sight. Nice reaction by Kaiser. 1 will fall though, 1 villager. Oh, 2, he gets bugged on the tree. That's unfortunate. Meanwhile, he's applying pressure to this town center, and Minutemen have been called from this town center, and I think Hazza realizes he's lost it. He's just ejected all of his villagers. Meanwhile, these Musketeers are still not doing too much on the map. And Hazza is still not trying to age. He has no more military shipments, so there's not much he can send to this town center to help save it. And it looks like Kaiser is in a pretty commanding lead. Just because he's going to get this town center. And I mean, part of Hazza's army is a little out of position. And without this town center, ports lose their SIB bonus and they become much more underwhelming. And he can take this fight probably if you want. No, he should back up. Oh, he has both the Musk cards in. He can easily take this fight. His Musketeers, 172 hit points to 26 attack versus 150 hit points to 23. And he's doing a nice little raid here. The cavalry coming in to snare. Might not be enough cavalry to snare though, but he's going to get a nice round here and a little bit of We'll see who gets the better concave. It looks like Kaiser, he needs to just sort of get these, put the units forward. Put them forward so they shoot. Gotta get the concave. So he doesn't win the fight, but he picked off a couple villagers, and he killed the town center. He's sitting very nice. And he's raiding with these Hussars and forcing Minutemen. Oh, actually, he forced all these villagers off this hunt. That's huge. Look at all this. Look at all this idle time. That's easily a 600 food shipment to idle all the way to the town center and back. It's absolutely crazy how effective those two Hussars were. Kaiserklein now sitting nicely at 180 mana pop. So it looks like he's boomed his way up. He's regained the villager lead. He has both the musk cards up. I think he is looking to be in a very nice position. And he's picking off the Minutemen. There are too many musketeers, so they're going to dissuade this little raiding force. And the British player does have a shipment ready. At this point, what do you send? He's already sent Cav HP for his 3 Hussars on the field. 6 longbow, potentially. That has to be. Unless you send 600 coin to try to age. Which he could as well. He's in a very nice lead. I mean, just going pure musketeers versus British, perhaps the best H2 musketeer civ in the game, is a questionable decision. I mean, Hazza gained nice early tempo, killing the 7 villagers. That was huge. Perhaps he should have done more with his window or tried to age up behind it. It just maybe felt like he didn't really know what his plan was with these 2 awkwardly side-based racks. And as a result, this is exactly the type of game Brits want to play. They want to just make musketeers in H2 versus a civ which doesn't have musketeer upgrade cards. However, Hazza is aging up. He'll be aged up in just a second. No shipment available, but he does have 2 Raxes and a stable. He will be able to produce nice Castador mass. And Kaiserklein is gonna hunt for this TC wagon. If he, well, that should probably be the proper thing to do, considering he definitely has the military advantage. And yeah, he's looking for it, and oh boy, look at this, and it's still gonna go down. Meanwhile, a nice raid up here. This just feels like GG. He does have veteran musketeers up, but he's gotta make a lot happen in not very much time. He has no map, no resources, 1 TC. I mean, honestly, these musketeers are not all much better than British's H2. They have 8 more hit points and 1 more attack. However, there are some Castadors mixed in. And it looks like he's gonna build a town center. He knows he's behind. Kaiserklein losing some units, retreating like this. I think he's got to bring these Hussars forward. He's not aging himself. He's losing just a lot of units. But I mean, this Hussar trap is going to be brutal. There's nothing, and he's baiting him into it. He's baiting him into the corner of the map. This is going to be. Move the musketeers forward. Go, go, go. Yeah, this is nice micro. Hazza's going to want to put some of those in melee. What? The Lakota dog soldiers? When did this happen? Are you kidding me? They have 730 hit points and 42 hand attack in age 2. He has 6 of them at 18 minutes. That's insane. Mido did this strategy once in a game. Oh, I forgot about how good these are. Wow. I did not see that coming at all. That was insane. Nice knowledge of the map. And he's going to trap these Castadors and villagers. Hazza's trying to hide them to the best of his ability, but it's just not going to work. I mean, these things almost one hit a Castador. It's insane. Nice pick up there. Nice game played by Brit. Hazza, of course, I mean, he made a lot happen. He made a lot happen very early. 7 early villagers against Brit. That's great. He had Kaiserklein on the back foot. Kaiser's only at 100 mana pop. He had the economy lead. He needed to get to H3 sooner. Or else, I mean, British Musketeers with the upgrade cards just kind of snowball. Well played by both. Good game. Let me update the score before I go out. Series is 2-2. Best of 7. First 1 to 4 games. Can he play France? I'm going to have to check the civils. Bum, 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 bum. Rule clarification? No. They kind of make it hard to find the rules, I feel like. Tournament rules and discussion, never mind. Civilization restrictions. In the best of 7, you must play 4 different civilizations, and you can play any civilization 1 more time. We have just played 4 games, so you can do this. This is okay. Let me just do a quick recount, rehash of the series. So game 1, Kaiser was Germany, and Hazza was India. Hazza won with the 10-10 Sepoy Sawyer build. Game 2, Kaiser was France, Hazza was Spain, France won. Game 3, oh, how did that happen? Kaiser was Russia, Hazza was Aztec, Hazza wins. Game 4, Kaiser's British, Hazza's Port, Kaiser wins. Alright, I've documented them so we don't make some sort of mistake. That's actually an insane that you can just send dog soldiers as a civ that's not Sioux from the TP. Wow. Probably everyone should do that, to be honest. That's probably just meta on that map. Especially after 16 minutes or 18 minutes or whatever it is. For those who don't know, you get a certain amount of dog soldiers for however long the game has gone on, so the upgrade will only ever cost 1,500 food, but the longer the game goes on, it's much more worth it. Let's get this AoE3 music going again. I might talk a little less in transition to save my voice. Alright, reminder to check water response. Got a lot to check. A recap, that's the word I was looking for. I think I said a rehash of the series. It's kind of awkward. Of course, I'm still trying to improve my casting. Alright, well, that was short-lived music. Map is Malaysia. You have the two little pockets of water in the north and south of the map. Sometimes the water flags don't spawn, so I'll check it out. We're going into game number 5. Series is tied 2-2. What's actually really nice is the players are doing a great job deciding on matchups between games. Sometimes that can get a little lengthy. But this is Malaysia, and just from the minimap I can see both players started with a spawning point. In the northeast part of the map in the color red, playing Sioux is Hazza, and then the southwest in the color blue, playing France is Kaiserklein. Going into game 5 of this best of 7 in the round of 8 for the ESOC Autumn Championship. A lot of money at stake here. A big game for sure. As far as map balance goes, both players start with a hunt, then they have their 2 behind their trees like this, and then each have their 3rd hunt on the trading post like this, and their 4th hunts and these diagonals. As far as mines, symmetrical mines, this map is very fair. Sioux's gonna like to pick up this 80 coin treasure, although there's not much he can do with it. But it's nice to use his convert ability quite early. A lot of times when I play Sioux, I wait too long to find the guardian that I think is worthy of it, and oftentimes never using it. Of course, this map doesn't have a lot of high level treasures, so the tiger is going to be one of the best guardians you can convert. Meanwhile, 60 food being found by Kaiserklein is just going to help him with a bit of a idleless age up. He did go for the early market, so he's going to like that food. The map does spawn with water buffaloes, which are a really nice herdable unit to go up to 500 food. I believe some other fattenable animals like the yaks only go up to 400 or so. So hunting dog's coming in now for the French player. And he's going to mine the 125 coin to trade for wood for the house, correct? Has he found a coin treasure? He has. So that's why he pulled those off. Looks like he overchopped a little bit of wood, but with the 60 food treasure and with this 40 coin, he's going to be just fine. And he's doing a nice job collecting these yaks with the scout. And bringing them with them so they can't be taken by the very, very speedy Sioux explorer. That 40 coin was a real nice pickup for Kaiser. If we look at decks, this is a fairly standard French deck. Wilderness Warfare. We'll give him 20% hit points on his CDB and his skirmishers and Native Americans, but I don't expect him to make natives in this matchup. It's kind of a nice card, to be honest. I like it. You don't see it in every deck, though. Meanwhile, for Hazza, very interesting. He has the aggressive policy upgrade, which in EP now means that it increases the gather rate of TPs from 4 to 6%, as well as 15 bison, which might be good on this map. It is a bit lower hunt. Although in this spawn, players get a nice amount of hunts. This one is conveniently walking towards Kaiserklein, although it's kind of bugging behind these trees, so never mind. And this native warrior is going to be picked off by the Sioux explorer. But the explorer will save the yaks. Actually, this is quite nice that it's lasted this long on such a small map. And he's going to... No, okay, never mind. Nice pickup for Hazza, and he's aging up with the... we'll see. I'm assuming it's 400 wood, as well with Kaiser. Text completed, just the hunting dogs for Kaiser. Sioux has a lot of options as far as their transition game goes. He's going to want to lay down a trading post, which he lays up here. But of course, they're on EP. They're TPs. They're these guys. Give economic gather boosts, sort of like miniature Carnimatas. You can see these villagers are now, well, they should be, yep, there they go, they get highlighted. And a lot of times you want to see the Sioux player maybe max TPs in transition, build 6 of them, 50 wood apiece, along with the trading post, and then with their 400 age up wood, they might make a market in the stable, as the second trading post cannot be taken. However, the TP placement is kind of tricky because you want to affect both your mines and your herdable hunts. So Hazza's done a nice job with this, and ideally you even want them at the front of your base so that you can defend pressure, right? So I think this is the best he's going to get with it. And he does age up with the 400 wood as we expect. Both players do, and wow, this is a lot of yaks for Kaiserklein. To the point where he might even think about making a pen, and there it goes. He lays it right now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 9 yaks or something. Meanwhile, stable start coming down on the back of the Sioux base. Very standard so far. Just needs to herd these hunts in. And a barracks coming down for the French player. So we'll see what French decides to do. What was meta for a while against Sioux was actually a musketeer crossbow mass, and then what you did is you upgraded your CDBs with hit points and attack, and maybe you sent pioneers, which he doesn't have in his deck, but sometimes you send pioneers, which upgrade your villager hit points even more, and then you actually timing click base the Sioux TC, and you use your CDBs to fight, and then use them to gather when you're not fighting. But perhaps we see that a little less now, and we actually see 4 Axe Riders come in first for the Sioux player. And there's only 1 villager out of position here. Is Kaiser gonna remember it? Is it gonna be spotted? It gets pulled back. So no villagers coming down for the Sioux player, and a batch of 4 musketeers is going to come out, which should do fine versus these. And you see this 4 Axe Rider play actually more and more recently. Gary has mentioned it as one of his favorite Sioux builds, and you know, sometimes people have to agree with Gary. It feels like, to me, it's actually quite good, like a 5 Cossack or a similar shipment. You just get a lot of pressure down on the map. Meanwhile, your economy is still pretty good in base with all of these TPs in the market. It's very nice. And now, I mean, Kaiserklein might think about calling Minutemen to hold this. He's got to be really careful not to lose villagers. Okay, and a nice batch of musketeers. So he's alright. But still, this is nice pressure coming in from the Sioux player. And behind this, he might just age up. He sent 5 bills, and then perhaps the next card is 700 coin. And what is France going to do with, you know, 15 musketeers? Especially pushing in to all these TPs. Still a 35 wood treasure up there, probably inconsequential now. Looks like we're getting some spikes. It's unfortunate. So let's see which card will drop for the Sioux player. It looks like it should be landing on the floor soon. And a stable and more infrastructure coming down for the French player. So it looks like actually both players might be just trying to age up. Haz is definitely going to age up, right? 700 coin is on its way for sure. And there it is. Meanwhile, 700 coin for Kaiserklein too. So he's just going to age up as well. Both players going to age up, and I mean, it was a pretty uneventful H2 to be honest. A bow rider and an axe rider lost for 1 musketeer, and some villager idle time and some CDP hit points. Pretty even trade, I think, on both sides. So now we see what sort of compositions both players go for. Right now, I actually give the edge to Kaiser in this game. He has the pen. I mean, this food boost is going to be huge. Maybe even think about getting amalgamation. I mean, think of that. You're going to have to be mining so much coin. I actually think amalgamation is good when you have a pen. Although maybe not here, as you know, he's kind of low pop. He's probably not going to have room to send 1k wood on this map, so probably not amalgamation. So the Sioux player is hit up to age 3. What is he aged with? Just the fast politician, it looks like. Same with the French player, and he has just sent a shipment. Sioux has a shipment to send. I believe Kaiser's is 8 skirms. It looks like that's how much his population jumped up. I didn't see for Hazza. But he is laying down the war hut now, so this is actually the Guardia build that he was talking about on ESOC, where you send the 4 axe riders first to 5 build, 700 coin, and then what you do is you chop enough wood for the war hut and for the veterancy upgrade for your axe riders. And it looks like he's going to get veterancy for his bow riders too. He's still chopping wood. And as we can see, yeah, he's getting the veterancy for his axe riders. Meanwhile, here come the 8 skirms. A batch of 4 goons come out. And 9 Joaquinas. So both players are playing pretty much the same style of play, just from different civilizations. You have to wonder though, I mean, a lot of these musketeers get really awkward in age 3. Meanwhile, the Sioux units, the axe riders, the bow riders, those are much more relevant units. Looks like Kaiser's going to try to protect his next hunt here. Meanwhile, Hazza's done an excellent job herding in this hunt to get in range of his teepees. Very, very well done by him. And, ooh, has this been spotted? He had his explorer up there, yep, and here come the goons, and perhaps Hazza thought he could get away with this, but he's going to lose it for sure. I mean, the economies are very similar. There's steel traps down for Kaiserklein. Of course, Sioux doesn't have steel traps, but he has all these teepees that have been working for him. I imagine the economies are very same. I mean, Kaiserklein's just waiting for these water buffalo, and I mean, here they are. He doesn't even need this hunt, to be honest. It doesn't matter if he gets pushed off of it. He has the potential for an insane timing coming up in the next 3 minutes or so. Alright, let's see what we can do. I don't think it's me. I'm going to lower the bitrate by just a bit, guys, though. I'll do some other maneuverings. Like I said, I don't think it's me, but let me close out as many things as I can. Just out of courtesy to the players.
Are you ready? Yes. Yes.
Alrighty, we are back. The militaries are quite even. Kaiserklein looks like he's eking out an economy lead. And a fire pit coming down for Hazza. So I'm interested to see what he does with this. Is this just for the potential battle coming up? Or will he try to fertility dance his way to more villagers? And it looks like it's just for the potential battle coming up, which I'm predicting is going to occur on this hunt. The Sioux player is also going to need more hunt in the future, and his 2 options are on the diagonal parts of the map. And this is where, I mean, these yaks give him such a huge bonus. It's almost an entire herd that Kaiserklein doesn't have to eat. And as a result, his hunts are going to run out later on in the game. He's going to have less walking time. He's going to have a larger critical mass. Theoretically, I believe. Sioux is still a really good civ though with great units. So this is going to be a critical battle coming up. He's going to his mine back here. As far as shipments sent, 5 Axe Riders follows the Wakinas for the Sioux player, and 5 Goons follows the 8 Skirmishers. And I don't know if that Wakina was just scouting or if he was led astray. I think he might just be scouting. And the Dead Explorer here is actually giving Kaiserklein a really valuable line of sight as to what the Sioux army is doing. And the yaks are still being eaten, and a batch of 4 cures come out. Another batch of cures, and perhaps a shipment of 3 might be what seals the deal for him, but he's going to engage right now. And actually, these Musketeers are getting a lot of value going in melee against his Axe Riders. The cures are coming in on the side of the Bow Riders, not ideal. The Goons are trying to pick off the Axe Riders, and they're doing a very nice job of it. And I mean, right now the Skirmisher mass seems to be fairly even. Some Axe Riders are still alive. What's going to pop from this TC of the French player, though? Does he have a shipment ready? Is it already coming? I'm unsure. 2 Falcons, there it is. This is huge. These are going to die, but their value is going to pay off, I'm sure. Oh, not so much, though, actually. Perhaps they should have popped on the other side of the TC. 5 Goons coming in now. Does he need a tank with some CDBs, or is he alright? I mean, look at the Sioux Explorer. He's tanking so many Skirmisher volleys. 1,300 hit point tank in the fight. It goes down finally, but very worth it. And now there's just a lot of army here for the Sioux player. And I mean, 3 cures, 3. Oh, a batch of 5. Wow, that's huge. Are 3 going to pop from this town center? He's got a shipment coming. It's on the way. There's no anti-cav left. The lone bow rider goes down. And these cures are going to clean up the Wakinas. There's nothing else coming for the Sioux player. Here's, of course, yep, here come the 3 cures. A little late, but Kaiserklein is going to be happy to see them nonetheless. And 3 Dog Soldier shipment coming in for Hazza, and he was dancing during that fight, which improves his units in combat. And I felt like a really good trade for Kaiserklein. Did he lose any villagers? 1 CDB perhaps during that fight? Maybe that's during a raid somewhere. We see a 1 Axe Rider raid coming in. Oh, this is actually going to be quite painful. Hazza is a very nice raiding player. He plays a lot of teams. This isn't going to be spotted. Wow, those are all going down. The Goons should be... Oh, he doesn't have Goons. Cures will be pulled back. There are a lot of vulnerable villagers here. If Kaiserklein can identify where he's gathering. And 5 CDB going down in that raid. The economies are still fairly similar, though, and I mean, just look at this mass, though. Those cures could have taken that fight on their own. Here come three bow riders, but... I mean, the Sioux player is on a clock. His hunt up here is about to run out, and his other one is down here. Really, Kaiserklein should be identifying that he's out of food, and he ate 10 yaks. You know, where is the Sioux player gathering? You almost have to wonder if dancing back this Explorer is worth it. And I think he is. Yeah, he's dancing for the Explorer. This lone Axe Rider going to try to pick off a low HP bill. It's going to get denied. Nice reaction from both players. And wow. This is brutal. I mean, the 4 Axe Rider shipment. Wow, he actually pulls back. He could have had a bill there. Perhaps he was afraid that the reinforcing goons were coming, and he knows that he needs all the military he can get. He's going back in, though. What's the reaction going to be like? Yeah, nice job. He doesn't lose the CDB. Although Bow Rider's coming in now. Right now it feels like Hazza's just trying to... He knows he's behind, he's just trying to get some sort of tempo by raiding villagers. And actually that was a nice little pickup for him there. I mean, Kaiserklein has this military lead. He's been losing some villagers to some raids. I think he knows he should push. The the hunt is almost out. So yeah, I mean, he's got the 10 military lead. And he's given Sioux the opportunity to remass with bow riders, and those are going to DPS a lot. And wow, these are really annoying raids. He really needs to just separate off a batch of goons or something. He's just going to fight them. Yeah, that's the best choice here. Good idea. And then Hazza, I mean, this is a reoccurring thing. He pushes one side of the map and then he pushes the other, and he's just hoping to find villagers out of position. Which he almost did, but nice reaction from Kaiserklein. And, oh, he's just going to engage. He's just going to engage the fight. There are too many cures. These CDBs are tanking. The skirmishers are nicely protected, going to pick off the bow riders. Reinforcing batch of 3 bow riders coming. I don't know if it's going to be enough. The dog soldiers are dying. The skirms were very nicely protected, going to pick off all those bow riders. Bow riders are a little out of position up front in the lines. And that's going to clean up this army. Here's war dancing again. GG. Well played by Kaiser. Nice build order from Hazza. I think the Yaks just is what did it. I mean, yeah, actually Big Button was 18 minutes in. That's probably like 6 dog soldiers. But he just didn't have the food. I mean, he was out up here. He had to gather down here. I mean, that's so much walking time for his villagers. Well played by both players. Kaiser takes the lead 3-2. It's best of 7, first of 4 games. Some nice raids coming in from Hazza, but just a little too late. And actually, this was a pretty even fight, all things considered. Let's just look at the resources, though. I mean, you can see when these yaks hit. Huge boost. You know, look at the area between the 2 curves is what you want to look at when you look at these graphs. That's a nice surplus of food that Kaiserklein got. No more music in between games. I've decided to shut it off. I'm really minimizing everything I've opened. Like I said, I don't believe the lag is me, but I mean, like I said, it was very well played by Hazza. He had some nice rates go on. It's just the Buffalo was... that economy boost was insane. And it just allows him to not run out of food. Like, even if he doesn't win with the mass out of his Buffalo alone, he has an extra hunt randomly, which in that type of game was extremely crucial. Some debate going on in the chat about whether Dog Soldier Big Button would have saved him in the game there. So the next map is Mendocino. Not exactly sure on the correct pronunciation. But for trading post map, I believe in sort of a cross pattern. Actually, is that Mendocino? No, Mendocino just has the 4 TPs across the middle. I believe. Well, it's a trading post map, I know that. Well, let's read the description. This part of California contains many forests where herds of deer and elk roam. Players are separated by 2 cliffs and ponds. Mapuche and Zapotec border the trade route line in the middle of the map. I should really work on pronunciating words that I don't use every day. I even took 4 years of Spanish, like I should, Zapotec? Yeah, it's bad. I'm not gonna embarrass myself any further. Let me write this down on my catalog of games played and which civs. 5 was France again for Kaiser, and Sioux for Hazza.
Yes.
And Hazza's the one to lock in his civ first. Kaiser leads the series 3-2. It's a best of 7. First to win 4 games. The round of 8. The winner of this match goes on to play the winner of Maito versus Tit, which is being played tomorrow at 16 GMT. That's going to be a good series. I believe Duck is going to cast with some co-caster of some or another. And Hazza54321 port. So Kaiserklein can play any civ except for France. And to be honest, I'd like to see Brit here. I think Brit fare very well versus port. There's just not much that port can do. They don't win H2, and it seems like they don't win H3. Like they don't, their tempo isn't fast enough and allows Brit to age up as well. And at that point in the game, Brit should just have a better economy. And he plays German, an old comfort pick for Kaiser. This is a good matchup too, just a solid matchup. We're probably just going to see Cav semis from both players and some age-free play. Of course, Portuguese likely outscale Germany later on in the game, and Germany's going to become coin-starved. So there's a lot of potential for both players to outplay and win the game before the end. Looking forward to it. We're entering Game 6 of the best of 7 between Kaiserklein and Hazza. This is the round of 8 in the ESOC Autumn Championship. The nice prize pool at stake. In the north of the map is Kaiserklein in the color blue, playing his favorite Germany. And in the southeast, in the color red, is Hazza playing the Portuguese. Looks like it's a coin start. Both players probably not going to be too happy about that. We aren't going to see any early trading posts. Real quick for balance purposes, both players start with a hunt, have 2 extra right here, and then their next hunts are on these trading posts, and then by these little water ponds, or these coves. What is a cove? More like a cave? There are no coves on this map. So a map looks fair, and both players are off to scout. I've noticed on this map a lot of the nice treasures tend to spawn on the outer ring. We have 70 food there. Actually, as I say that, there aren't that many treasures, huh? 80 XP, and already we have a treasure contention at 44 seconds into the game. Who got it? I can't even tell. Wow. And Kaiserklein lost his hit points on that treasure. So a nice little pickup for him. That was funny. So actually all the good treasures spawn in the middle of the map this time. You have 80 food and 135 XP. Kaiser's not going to find anything on this ring. It's actually a little odd. I mean, there aren't really any treasures on this side of the map. Kaiserklein's right. That was a really early time to pick up 80 XP. And 80 XP is oh my god, he's housed. Okay, he's good now though. So 80, as I was saying, 80 experience that early on in the game is actually huge for getting 2 settler wagons, which is essentially a 4 villager shipments. Especially for Germany, whose shipments come slower than most civs. I have a bit of a sound bug. We'll fix that for next game. Anyways, yeah, Hazza was not joking. He did send ATP. And he's going to pick up this 135 XP treasure. Oh, but maybe not. This would be nice for Germany too. Oh, does he have a crack shot? Does he have a crack shot? Yes. Alright. Kaiserklein is going to be feeling a lot better after that. I mean, it's a little demoralizing losing that 80 XP. The solace, though, is that it doesn't actually help ports. I mean, he gets ATP in sooner, but like, what does that really matter? He's not building any trading posts. He's not getting villagers in sooner, so it's a bit of a drag for the German player, but it doesn't really help his opponent that much. Meanwhile, there is this Iroquois Tomahawk, which could be really crucial to denying this ATP play. Another Tomahawk up here. ATP is actually maybe a little questionable on this map just because there are so many native treasures, that denying it could become a very real thing. The Hazza is aging up with 13 villagers, that's fairly standard, and Germany is aging up with 17. With the early market, that's actually quite nice. Sometimes they can idle to 18 villagers. So ATP coming in, and Hazza is doing the smart thing and building some with settlers. I think, no, he can build this trading post. I mean, he's going to age up and get the hit points in time. He should go build it before the German player does. Oh, but Kaiser's going to task onto the right one. Oh, wait. Can he not build there anymore since the foundation is down? I'm unsure how that works. He saw through the fog of war that this one was being built as he tried to place his foundation. So now he's going to go over here, and he's going to snag at least one of these. So it'll be interesting to see what the line of play now is. Wow, this sound bug is really annoying. The Portuguese player will get 3 out of the 4 trading posts. That's a nice town center placement. Secures essentially these 2 hunts. He's got 2 mines in base, so it's not too much of a worry to have to secure a mine with your town center as well. So I expect to see some H2 play from the Portuguese player to research Stagecoach, take this, and then attempt to age up. Meanwhile, let's see what military building comes down to the German player. Actually, we only just see a stable for Portuguese, and another stable coming down for Germany. So, Kaiserklein has correctly identified that Hazza's gone ATP, I'm sure. Meanwhile, he's just herding in his 2 hunts. This one has kind of wandered away from the Portuguese player, but he will be able to corral in this one. And, okay, let's look at shipment cents. Apologies. 700 coin coming in for Hazza. Okay, yeah, that's fairly typical and standard. Waiting on the German player's first shipment as well. Text being researched. I don't know if it shows Stagecoach or not. I don't think we'll see Stagecoach, honestly. I think he's just going to use this XP. We might see Stagecoach later on in the game. I really like to see him herding in this hunt, but I mean the 2 Uhlans are out now, and this is these guys can be quite bothersome to herding villagers. And I mean, Hazza recognizes the timing for the 2 Ulans, and he's going to smartly pull back his villagers. Although they might get this one. It's going to fall. Wow. That's a huge pickup. I mean, these 2 Ulans just come so early on in the game. It's quite easy to lose villagers to them. You just don't really expect it. I mean, even when you're aware of it, you always think, like, I have time. But only a batch of 4 Hussars out, and these 7 Ulans probably win that fight. Even with the HP nerf. Wow, there's no sound. I really apologize for the sound glitch, guys. The only thing you have to listen to is my voice. Which, to be fair, you know, there are worse things out there to listen to. Both players shipping 700 wood now. Hazza's going to add in a barracks with his. And Kaiserklein is choosing to siege down this trading post with Ulans. Interesting choice. Well, okay, the route is now stagecoach, so he wants in on this piece of the pie. Hazza's result is going to siege this other trading post with Hussars of his own. Perhaps he should have just went in to raid. I don't know, we'll see. This is definitely going down, and Kaiserklein has the wood to rebuild it, and then suddenly neither player has the stagecoach advantage. 700 food coming in for Hazza. I'd still like to see this hunt herded in. And I mean, just like that, there are more Ulans and Hussars here, and he's going to be able to defend this trading post. 700 food coming in for Hazza. I prefer 600 coin in that case, but I mean, I think he recognizes he doesn't have a lot of hunt in base. He hasn't really herded as well as he maybe could have, so he doesn't want to exhaust that too much. Here come the coin though. And yeah, he's training musketeers, so it looks like he wants to stage too. And I mean, this is what's brutal about Germany. Kaiserklein is halfway aged up. And I mean, Hazza's nowhere close to aging. He's popped. And he's only going to be able to take this one trading post. I mean, the German Cavs to me FF is insane in this game. And that's even with the EP nerf in age 2. Hussars killed them in 1 hit faster, which is huge. And still, you saw Germany's ability to mass Ulans and Portuguese perhaps slower start to the game really come into play. So it looks like Hazza's going to age himself. I don't know if it's worth laying this down. I mean, I guess it buys him a lot of time from the German army. He's going to want to siege this, and it's going to have a lot more hit points. And I think Hazza might be able to save this TP with veteran Ulans alone. He knows what's happening though. Nice by Hazza to send the scout. He sensed that Kaiserklein might come in here to go to the TP after he spots this. And wow, that's just unfortunate. And he stopped sieging this as well. I mean, I think he sees this army, he knows that he can get caught out of position. Especially if like 9 Ulan comes, or 3 war wagons in this case. And the German mass, I mean, this is sort of Germans' go time. I mean, 59 military population to 29. None of Hazza's units are age 3. The nice thing is, though, these Hussars will be able to be upgraded to veterancy, and they'll do nice well then. And then, I mean, the town center wagon has to come. You need to secure some resources with it, but I don't know if you can defend it. And this is the awkward thing about playing ports, is you need the map with your town centers, but so often you can't defend them when you age up. So Kaiserklein smells blood. He knows the age up just came in. Now his priority is going to be to find that town center wagon. You see he's splitting his units up. You know, he says if it's come out here, you know, I'm going to try to find it. And he's splitting his units down here because he knows he has the military advantage right now. And, oh, he just, oh, build it back here. You can put it back. Maybe not. I mean, another not ideal town center placement for the Portuguese player. Meanwhile, these musks are going to come up here for raid. Bit cheeky, but could do well. He's pretty split up, though. I mean, he's just going to try to siege that TP and... Oh, look at this. I mean, there's just not enough goons here. There's nothing to really kill these war wagons. I mean, they trade quite well versus goons, I believe. Just wow, just look at this German mass. I mean, I'd love to see these guys just poke up here, but that's the beauty of being a caster. Again, for those wondering why there's no game sound, the game is bugged, so I can't just turn up the volume. It's non-existent to me. So the Musketeers dying. I mean, once you hit H3, they're kind of a useless unit. They're going to cost them about what do you say it'd take to repair this? About 100 wood or so. Meanwhile, Hazza's army is trying to find the German player's economy, seeing that the entire army is on the left side of the map, but Kaiserklein has protected his economy largely where his army is, and this is a huge raiding force right now. This is all of his Uhlans. He's still searching for that TC. I know this feeling well. You look for this town center, and oftentimes you expect to find it, you know, where there are resources, but he was just forced to place it in an awkward location. So, I mean, Germany is running out of mojo, it feels like. They've sort of sent all their big shipments. So get text completed for... I mean, steel traps just coming in now for the Portuguese player. I don't know, man. That should have been done, like... That should have been done the moment you hit H2, in my opinion. You're always eating so much food. These villagers are super exposed right now. I mean, just... this mass for the German player and these 2 stagecoach TPs, it's absolutely insane. Villager going up to build that house, but you should spot these war wagons. Kaiserklein has popped 167 out of 60, so did he send Mercs, or did he send something like 9 Ulan? 9 Ulan would probably be the safer card. But I mean, Jaegers would do quite well too. I mean, this is quite a skirm goon mass by Hazza. I mean, the longer this game goes on, though, the more of the villager lead that Portuguese is going to be able to amass. And if he can get control of the map in these hunts, like he's doing right now, then the game will tilt in his favor. I mean, Kaiserklein has this distinct military advantage. I'd like to see him use it. Shimmick available for Hazza. He does have 2 organ guns, although I don't think that would be very good versus his composition. It's very cavalry heavy. And oh, there are the Jaegers. So he did send Jaegers. Wow, that's going to do very well. There's not a lot of Hussars here. And, geez, there's so many Jaegers you get with Germany. This Civ, dude. Wow. And this is going to be spotted up here. 153. I mean, of course the Jaegers inflate that, right? But still, I mean, the militaries are insane, and war wagons are such a high damage unit. I don't know how good Mamelukes would be either. Dragoon combat coming in. To be honest, I think Hazza just understands that he can't win the fight right now, so he's just playing the multitasking game, right? He's got nice 2 SR over here. He's pushing all the villagers off all these resources. Kaiser doesn't care. There's really no siege here for the Portuguese player. Although nice raid here. Some war wagons or some Ulans are going back to take care of that. Just a house, yep. I mean, picking off the reinforcements, that's really unfortunate. But what are we seeing? We're seeing a base trade? Kaiserklein is just going to go back. I think he knows that he can just take out this army. And I don't know if he's going to save the town center. This game just got really interesting. No, but Hazza's backing off. The town center's going to stay up, and is his army just going to get trapped? Oh, bring some Huss over here. If he can survive this battle and kill these... Oh, he's going to die. He's going to die hard. He's totally caught out of position. All these Huss up here. All the Cassadors exposed. The war wagons on the Huss. This is the worst positioning he could have had. I mean, you take a chance every time you just dive into the enemy players' TC. I mean, the skirmishers aren't even here for Kaiserklein, and he's already cleaned up the... He's already cleaned up the enemy army. I mean, look at these Jaegers. They haven't even... The Jaegers haven't even fired. But, I mean, these... Even if you kill all these villagers, he's got double the military pop. It's just probably no coming back from this. And he's got all these idle villagers, which desperately need to hunt here, which is not secured at all. But he's trying to stay in it. I mean, this is an important series, an important game for sure. No, all these villagers are idle. I didn't even hit... Oh, that's the same. Now 9 Ulans coming in. I mean, just look at these militaries. Hazza's has more villagers. He's not gathering at the moment. I mean, if he can somehow stabilize. But how? Kaiserklein is playing safe now. He's adding a town center. Bit of a spike there. I mean, Mamelukes come in, but what are they going to do? Just look at this. You don't see these many war wagons being trained on 1v1s. They're not going to do anything. They do 48 times 3 versus cavalry. That's insane. It's like 144 or something. 144 damage per shot. Yeah, I'm confident the lag is between the players now. They're experiencing message issues. It's kind of GG. That's the series. Okay, I can't. I want to fix sound bug, but I can't. So congratulations to Kaiserklein. He wins the best of 7 versus Hazza in the round of 8, so he advances to the round of 4, which I believe we call that the semifinals. And he will face the winner of Maito versus Tit. So, exciting series to come. This was very entertaining, I thought. Hazza actually, especially game 1, I think, kind of grabbed the series with some tempo, with a pretty commanding win over Kaiser's best civ. Game 2 was a bit unfortunate with the shipment bugging at the walls at the outpost, but I mean, Hazza didn't let it affect him too much, and he kept playing. He was always in all the games. But Kaiserklein just sort of showing his strength as a 1v1 player. He's very strong, of course. Both players very good. Wonderful series. Thank you guys for watching. This is it for me. Perhaps a lovely individual in the chat would like to maybe stream on their own or so. I have to go to work, but I've enjoyed casting for you all. I hope you enjoyed the games. Please check out ESOC for more Age of Empires content. And I am off.